Welcome to the Fairy Speak. I'm John O'Toole. We're recording this show up on Fairy Mountain, which is basically where I live. It's a lot more homey than at the studio. If I had an audience, I would probably shoot it at the studio. But since I'm doing this one with myself and my friend Harry and the cats, then it's easier to do it here on my little makeshift studio. So, I hope you've been watching my series, The Fairy Speaks. I know I've been having a lot of fun, and I hope you've been having fun also. If anything, you get a good laugh. So this is The Fairy Speaks, whereas the fairies help me do a reading for you. The fairy will help pick the cards, and then we'll be doing a reading that's for both you, me, and even possibly the fairy. Now these cards are Brian Fraud's Fairy Oracle. I've had them for quite some time, maybe at least 10 years, maybe longer than that. You know how it is, time flies when you're having fun. I'm going to just do a rotate. And do one more shuffle. I used to start off, I was having you guys have me pick cards with that intention set. And then recently, the fairy kind of said, you know, we will help you pick the cards. And not sure what that's about, but that's how it's working now. So we're going to put the cards out. By the way, have you met my friend Harry yet? Harry's someone you're going to see out of the corner of your eye. As a matter of fact, if you're going to see fairies, you're not going to you're going to see fairies in two different ways. Three, you're going to see a picture of them, or you might see them in a movie. It's kind of an artificial way. One way is that you're going to see them in the corner of your eye. You're not going to really see them looking at them directly. You're going to see them over here. And you're going to look and you're going to say, I saw something. And then when you put it into your direct vision, you're not going to see them. Now, some people are sensitive and they'll notice energies. I don't really see them as you might see them. So, like, for example, just a random pick for a card. We're going to have to put it somewhere that's not the right one. We just picked up 2 singer cards. Go figure! I'll make sure I forget where I put those. Alright, so there's a fairy. Alright. And you've seen other fairies. You've seen leprechauns. Legend of the Leprechauns, one of my favorite movies. And, but those have kind of like a definition to them. And you don't often see them that way, but some people do. You see things, what makes you feel comfortable. I usually see fairies as energy, globs of energy. They move around a whole lot easier as globs of energy than they do with actual physical man-made bodies. But to each his own. People see them as they wish. And often people have their own fairies, like that movie. What was the name of that movie? The Golden Compass. The Golden Compass, where everybody had their own fairy. They didn't think they called them fairies. They had a different name for them. But it's kind of that respect. You know, people have denounced the existence of fairies or tree spirits or spiritual guides, all those kind of things. They may not necessarily have them in their presence, but they could easily get recalled if you wish. So usually when I work with the fairy energy, they're more like, you know, globs of energy. But I'll know whether what kind of like their definition would be. So whether they're pixies, or whether they're sprees, or whether they're tree spirits, or fairies, or leprechauns. Or leprechauns are not as common as you might think. And if you find a fairy mound, then you'll probably see them as energy moving in and out of them, not as pixies or like Tinkerbell or something like that. But it's to each their own. If that's how you best feel like you want to see them, then that's how it works. So did I introduce you to Harry? This is my friend Harry. And yeah, I got introduced to Harry at least 10 years ago, if not longer than that. And he's been hanging out with me ever since. And he's has these hairy feet. Often he'll be riding on the roof of my car with his feet dangling on the front over the windshield. Sure had a fun time when we went to the butterfly house last week up in Deerfield. And yeah, I live in this nature. I'm in the middle of the woods. Not in the middle, well, yeah, middle woods. And I think he's happy as can be. Would be happier if people took care of nature better, but you know, he's non-physical. Alrighty. So the fairy realm is going to help me pick cards. Probably Harry. But we're going to pick some cards. In fact, we're going to pick, the last time we did this, we picked 5 each. So we're going to pick 8 cards. And we're going to see what they read. And we're going to follow the flow of energy. And we'll see how that goes. Sounds like a plan, Stan? That'd be funny if there's actually a Stan in the audience. He's probably saying, oh, I'm so sick of that saying. I had a nickel for every time someone said, have a plan, Stan. I'd be a rich man. Alrighty, so we're going to pick out 8 cards. And we're going to read them, and we're going to see how we do. Okay, let's start. And if you wish me to pick a card out for you, get a message through your fairy. So if you're wondering what I feel like changes in temperature and air movement. Like a little breeze. I guess that's a change in temperature. Go. Mickle and muckle. So the last time we did every other card, we starting with this corner here. Although that wasn't the last card I pulled, the last card was this one. I think I'm going to start with this card over here. And I think we're going to start with this card over here, number 19, the Sage. The Sage. Wisdom, hidden knowledge, retreat, old age, and patience. But this card was in reverse, so it was like this. Artificial and inappropriate boundaries are set between different aspects of life. Artificial and inappropriate boundaries are set between aspects of life. Well, that's interesting. The Pook, number 60. Pook. Shape changer. Good in bad, bad in good. Paradox. Resolution. Shape changer. Good into bad, bad into good, a paradox, and a resolution. And the paradox is kind of like when you have, on this hand, we have this situation. And then on this hand, we have this situation. And then in the middle is where they meet. And hopefully, in the middle, there's a solution that applies to both and solves the one on the left and solves the one on the right. A compromise. So you got good turning into bad and bad turning into good, and meeting in the middle at the center where both conditions are set. If the card was in reverse, it would mean that we can't quite achieve creativity, nurturing, productivity, intimacy, and sheltering. Creativity, nurturing, productivity, intimacy, and sheltering. But this card was in reverse. Difficulty giving or receiving nurturing, which is kind of the same thing as giving and receiving love. Except it's kind of the opposite. Giving and receiving nurturing is the opposite. It's kind of a paradox, isn't it? Giving love. The opposite of giving love is receiving love. And then the opposite of receiving love is giving love. And the receiving love is nurturing. Kind of just makes your brain go like this. When you just kind of think about it. really kind of trying to use your intelligence to think about it. Your brain is going in and out like this. Where you really have to do is think about it with in your mind's eye, and in your heart, and in your solar plexus. Mickle a muckle. Mickle a muckle. Number 49. For those that are following it at home, maybe you're going to play a lottery number with the numbers we pull. Everyday blessings, play, and mixed blessings. So isn't this kind of like the meeting of the middle? Love given and received equally. Nurturing given and received equally. Feline. Getting it right. Delayed completions. Tidying up loose ends. Getting it right. Delayed completions. Tidying up loose ends. Kind of contradiction to what we're talking about, wouldn't you say? Interesting. Might be pulling another card. There's a quarter after, so 65. That was this one. So we'll go back to this one, the Oak Band. I think I've pulled this card for a long time. Number 47. It's kind of interesting because if you turn it upside down, it gives you a whole other image. Cards are quite creative. Number 47. The Oak Band. Strength, ancient wisdom, and death. It's almost like there's been a shift going on here with it. First we started off with this one. See, now the nurturing part, that's the only one that was upside down so far. But everything else is kind of like flowing. The Journeyman, number 15. Adventure, independence, polish of skills, and traveling. Kind of a free spirit, able to go off and do whatever he wants. But this one was in reverse. This one. Feel unable to move forward, inappropriate at this time, or fear holding you back. Kind of interesting. What was number 19? Artificial, inappropriate boundaries are set between different aspects of life. So the inappropriate boundaries are preventing you from moving forward. And unable to nurture or receive nurturing. So these three cards are very similar. This one, the Sage, and the Mother. These all have kind of that interest, that same thing about moving along. So the last one is the collection of pixies, number 48. Duty, willingness, joyful, participation, virtue. If it was reversed, it would be dragging your feet. The willingness to participate in creativity aspects of your life. But on the other hand, the fear of nurturing and receiving nurturing is holding you back from you completing your journey. So the Lion was about tidying up loose ends, which is what you need to do in order for you to go on your journey. Nickel Muckle. Mixed blessings. Everyday blessings. And then the Pook, number 60. Shape changing good into good and bad into bad. So my impression and what I'm hearing is when you isolate yourself, you're in your bliss. But when you move, what you wish to do is to continue on with your journey. In order to continue on with your journey, you've got to get past this fear of nurturing, giving, and receiving love. It's kind of an interesting thing. It's going to be something that we're all going to have to think about it. Next month when I do the next reading, we'll see where this thing has progressed from the last time we were here. It's kind of an interesting thing to kind of to watch these shows in a row and to see how they progress, how it applies to you and how it doesn't. And everything's going to apply to you, because you got to remember that this reading is a group reading, and there's going to be somebody out there that's watching going, yeah, because last time this is what we talked about, and now we're moving into this nurturing thing. Now we've brought up this thing about love given and received a number of times. As a matter of fact, in the last reading, we talked about love given and received. And nurturing, giving and receiving nurturing. Nurturing is just a little bit different than giving love. It's like the next level. It's probably more personal. Nurturing is something you might give to your spouse or to your children or to your parents. Even your cats and your dogs, you think nothing of it because you gotta feed them. You gotta take them for walks. You gotta tell them no, they can't go on the internet today. You come home and the kinds of screens are open about cats. You just wonder who was doing it. So this nurturing part is a new element for all of us, myself included. So there we are, the end of our next show. I'm not sure what episode we're on. I'm pretty sure if I try to guess, I'd probably be wrong. But it'll be on the title, so then we'll all know. Next week will be our Halloween show. Should be a hoot. I'll have to come up with something. But just doing the tarot cards is enough of a Halloween thing, don't you think? So at any rate, I hope you're enjoying my program. If you have any positive comments, feel free to contact the station. Maybe I shouldn't wear the hat because you can't see my eyes very well. But until next time, the fairy speaks for you. Dee 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 dee. Dee doo doo doo. And we're all done.